Imagine standing at the crossroads of history and faith, contemplating the ethical and moral foundations that have guided civilizations for millennia. The Ten Commandments, given to Moses on Mount Sinai, have long served as a cornerstone of ethical behavior in both Judaism and Christianity. These commandments outline fundamental principles that govern our interactions with God and one another, providing a clear framework for righteous living. However, as time has passed and societies have evolved, so too has the interpretation and application of these ancient laws. Enter Jesus of Nazareth, whose ministry brought a profound renewal and deepening of these timeless principles, offering interpretations that resonate powerfully with the challenges and complexities of the modern world. In this video, we delve into the transformative teachings of Jesus, exploring how he reinterpreted and expanded upon the Ten Commandments. Our central question is, how do the teachings of Jesus reinterpret and expand the Ten Commandments? By examining the Sermon on the Mount and other key teachings, we uncover a richer, more nuanced understanding of these foundational ethical guidelines, making them not only relevant but also profoundly applicable to contemporary life. To fully appreciate the significance of Jesus' reinterpretation, it's essential to understand the historical and biblical context from which the Ten Commandments originated. The Ten Commandments were divinely given to Moses on Mount Sinai, as recorded in Exodus 20 verses 1 to 17. These commandments established a covenant between God and the Israelites, outlining the expectations for their behavior and relationship with Him. They addressed fundamental aspects of life, including worship, morality, and social justice, serving as a comprehensive guide for righteous living. Fast forward to the 1st century, and Palestine was a region under Roman occupation, marked by political tension, social upheaval, and religious fervor. In this volatile environment, Jesus emerged as a transformative figure, challenging existing religious norms and offering a message of love, compassion, and the imminent kingdom of God. His teachings, particularly those presented during the Sermon on the Mount, Matthew 5-7, provided a profound expansion of the ethical principles embodied in the Ten Commandments. Rather than merely reiterating the commandments, Jesus delved deeper, exploring the intentions and motivations behind actions, thus offering a more comprehensive approach to morality and righteousness. The Sermon on the Mount is one of the most significant and influential discourses in Christian teachings. In this sermon, Jesus not only affirmed the importance of the Ten Commandments but also transcended their literal interpretation by addressing the heart and spirit behind the laws. For instance, while the Ten Commandments prohibit actions such as murder and adultery, Jesus emphasized the importance of purity of heart, encouraging his followers to avoid harboring anger and lust, which are the root causes of such actions. This shift from external compliance to internal transformation marks a pivotal development in ethical teaching, urging believers to cultivate virtues that align with divine will on a deeper, more personal level. Moreover, Jesus introduced new dimensions to the commandments by highlighting the principles of mercy, peacemaking, and unconditional love. He challenged his followers to go beyond mere adherence to rules, advocating for a life characterized by proactive goodness and self-sacrifice. The commandment to love your neighbor as yourself, for example, was expanded to include loving one's enemies and praying for those who persecute you. This radical call to love without boundaries underscores the transformative power of grace and forgiveness, elements that are essential for fostering genuine community and reconciliation. Understanding the Ten Commandments within the context of Jesus' teachings also reveals the continuity and fulfillment of divine law. Rather than abolishing the commandments, Jesus affirmed their enduring relevance while providing deeper insights into their application. This harmonization of Old and New Testament principles creates a cohesive ethical framework that addresses both timeless human struggles and contemporary moral dilemmas. By bridging the ancient with the modern, Jesus' teachings ensure that the Ten Commandments remain a living, dynamic guide for righteous living, capable of addressing the complexities of today's world. As we explore the intersection of the Ten Commandments and Jesus' teachings, we uncover how his reinterpretations offer solutions to modern ethical challenges. Issues such as integrity in the workplace, compassion in social justice, and authenticity in personal relationships are all areas where Jesus' expanded principles provide profound guidance. By internalizing these teachings, believers can navigate the moral complexities of modern life with wisdom and grace, embodying the spirit of the commandments in their daily actions and decisions. Furthermore, Jesus' emphasis on the heart and intentions behind actions encourages a more holistic approach to ethics. It calls for self-examination and personal growth, urging individuals to align their inner lives with their outward behaviors. This alignment fosters a sense of integrity and authenticity, promoting a life of true righteousness that transcends superficial compliance with rules. In essence, Jesus' teachings invite believers to cultivate a transformative faith that permeates every aspect of their lives, leading to a more profound and lasting impact on the world around them. To truly grasp the depth of Jesus' reinterpretation, one must engage with his teachings in a personal and reflective manner. This involves not only studying the scriptures but also applying these principles to one's own life, fostering a personal relationship with God that inspires ethical and moral excellence. As we journey through this exploration, we will uncover practical applications and timeless lessons that empower believers to live out the commandments in ways that are both meaningful and transformative. Before we proceed further into this enlightening exploration, there is a special opportunity awaiting you. God has prepared something extraordinary for your spiritual journey: insights, blessings, and divine guidance that are ready to unfold in your life. By subscribing to our channel, you position yourself to receive this grace and be part of a community dedicated to deepening your understanding of Jesus' teachings. Don't miss out on the blessings that God has in store for you. Subscribe now and embrace the spiritual growth and divine rewards that await. As we continue, we will delve into specific teachings of Jesus that expand upon each of the 10 commandments, examining how these enhanced principles can address the ethical and moral challenges we face today. Through this study, we aim to provide a comprehensive understanding of how Jesus' message not only upholds but elevates the foundational ethical guidelines, offering a path to a more compassionate, just, and spiritually fulfilling life. Join us in this journey of discovery as we uncover the profound ways in which Jesus reinterpreted the 10 Commandments, making them not only relevant but also deeply transformative for contemporary believers. By integrating these teachings into your life, you can experience a renewed sense of purpose, ethical clarity, and divine connection that empowers you to live out your faith with conviction and grace. The journey from the 10 Commandments to the profound teachings of Jesus represents a transformative evolution in the understanding and application of divine law. The 10 Commandments, delivered to Moses on Mount Sinai, have long been the bedrock of ethical and moral conduct in both Judaism and Christianity. These commandments provide clear directives on worship, interpersonal relationships, and personal integrity, serving as a foundational guide for righteous living. However, as societies evolved and human understanding deepened, the need arose to reinterpret and expand these ancient laws to address the complexities of contemporary life. This is where the teachings of Jesus Christ come into play, offering a renewed and deeper perspective that not only upholds the original commandments but also enhances their relevance and applicability in modern contexts. The heart of Jesus' ministry was a mission to fulfill and transcend the existing laws, emphasizing the spirit rather than the letter of the law. This approach was not about discarding the commandments, but about bringing them to life through deeper spiritual understanding and personal transformation. Jesus' reinterpretations of the 10 Commandments invite believers to move beyond mere external compliance and engage in a more profound, heart-centered obedience that aligns with God's will. By addressing the underlying intentions and motivations behind actions, Jesus provided a comprehensive framework for ethical living that is both spiritually enriching and practically applicable. Consider the first commandment: "You shall have no other gods before me." Originally, this directive was a clear prohibition against idolatry and the worship of false gods. Jesus, however, deepened its meaning by prioritizing the kingdom of God above all other pursuits. In Matthew 6 verse 33, he teaches, "But seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well." This teaching shifts the focus from the mere absence of idolatry to the active pursuit of a life centered around God's kingdom. It underscores the importance of placing God at the forefront of one's priorities, ensuring that all actions and decisions are aligned with divine purpose. This renewal emphasizes that true worship extends beyond rituals to encompass every aspect of one's life, fostering a holistic and integrated faith. The second commandment: you shall not make for yourself an image of any kind, originally aimed to prevent the creation and worship of idols. Jesus approached this commandment by emphasizing the purity of heart over external observance. In Matthew 15 verses 8 to 9, he criticizes the Pharisees for adorning their lips while neglecting the more important matters of the law: justice, mercy, and faithfulness. Jesus teaches that true worship is not about physical representations but about sincere and heartfelt devotion to God. By focusing on internal purity and genuine relationship with God, he encourages believers to avoid superficial displays of piety and instead cultivate a deep, authentic faith that transcends physical manifestations. The third commandment: you shall not misuse the name of the Lord your God, prohibits the irreverent or disrespectful use of God's name. Jesus expanded this commandment by addressing the authenticity and integrity of one's speech. In Matthew 12 verses 36 to 37, he warns, "But I tell you that everyone will have to give account on the day of judgment for every empty word they have spoken. For by your words you will be acquitted, and by your words you will be condemned." This teaching highlights the importance of sincerity and truthfulness in communication, urging believers to speak with integrity and purpose. Jesus' interpretation elevates the commandment from a mere prohibition against swearing to a call for heartfelt honesty and accountability in all interactions. The fourth commandment: remember the Sabbath day by keeping it holy, originally established a day of rest dedicated to God. Jesus' interpretation of this commandment focuses on the underlying principles of mercy and necessity over rigid observance. In Mark 2 verse 27, he states, "The Sabbath was made for man, not man for the Sabbath." This teaching emphasizes that the commandments are intended to serve humanity's well-being rather than impose unnecessary restrictions. Jesus promotes a flexible and compassionate approach to observance, recognizing that the spirit of the law is more important than its literal application. This perspective encourages believers to prioritize love and compassion, ensuring that their actions align with God's desire for human flourishing. The fifth commandment: honor your father and your mother, underscores the importance of respecting and honoring one's parents. Jesus expanded this commandment by addressing the authenticity of such respect. In Matthew 15 verses 4 to 6, he criticizes the religious leaders who honor their parents to gain favor while neglecting the more critical aspects of faith and righteousness. Jesus teaches that true honor is not about outward displays of respect but about genuine obedience and integrity in one's relationship with God and others. This interpretation calls believers to embody their respect through righteous living and sincere relationships, ensuring that their actions reflect true reverence and commitment. The sixth commandment: you shall not murder, prohibits the taking of innocent life. Jesus deepened this commandment by addressing the root causes of violence, anger, and hatred. In Matthew 5 verses 21 to 22, he teaches, "You have heard that it was said to the people long ago, 'You shall not murder, and anyone who murders will be subject to judgment.' But I tell you that anyone who is angry with a brother or sister will be subject to judgment." This teaching emphasizes the importance of inner purity and reconciliation, promoting a life of peace and forgiveness. By addressing the emotions and thoughts that lead to violence, Jesus encourages believers to cultivate a heart of compassion and understanding, thereby preventing the very acts that the commandments seek to prohibit. The seventh commandment: you shall not commit adultery, originally prohibited marital infidelity and sexual immorality. Jesus expanded this commandment to address the purity of thoughts and intentions. In Matthew 5 verses 27 to 28, he states, "You have heard that it was said, 'You shall not commit adultery.' But I tell you that anyone who looks at a woman lustfully has already committed adultery with her in his heart." This teaching underscores the importance of internal purity and integrity, encouraging believers to maintain fidelity not only in their actions but also in their thoughts and desires. By addressing the internal motivations behind actions, Jesus promotes a holistic approach to moral conduct that encompasses both outward behavior and inner virtue. The eighth commandment: you shall not steal, prohibits the unlawful taking of others' property. Jesus' interpretation of this commandment emphasizes generosity and honesty. In Matthew 6 verses 19 to 21, he advises, "Do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth, where moths and vermin destroy, and where thieves break in and steal. But store up for yourselves treasures in heaven. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also." This teaching encourages believers to focus on spiritual wealth and generosity rather than material accumulation. By promoting a heart of contentment and generosity, Jesus encourages an ethical framework that values honesty and benevolence, ensuring that one's actions contribute positively to both personal growth and the well-being of others. The ninth commandment, "You shall not give false testimony against your neighbor," prohibits lying and defamation. Jesus expanded this commandment by emphasizing the importance of truthfulness and integrity in all aspects of life. In John 8 verse 44, he identifies deceit as the root of all evil, promoting a life of transparency and honesty. This interpretation encourages believers to cultivate a habit of speaking truthfully and maintaining integrity in their relationships, fostering trust and respect within the community. By addressing the moral imperative of honesty, Jesus reinforces the importance of ethical conduct that upholds justice and fosters harmonious relationships. The 10th commandment, "You shall not covet," prohibits the intense desire for others' possessions or relationships. Jesus' interpretation of this commandment focuses on contentment and gratitude. In Luke 12 verse 15, he warns, "Watch out! Be on your guard against all kinds of greed. Life does not consist in an abundance of possessions." This teaching encourages believers to cultivate a sense of contentment and to appreciate the blessings they have, rather than succumbing to envy and materialism. By promoting gratitude and contentment, Jesus fosters a life of balance and appreciation, ensuring that one's desires are aligned with spiritual well-being rather than material excess. Analyzing Jesus' reinterpretations of the Ten Commandments reveals a profound depth and contextualization that transforms these ancient laws into living principles for modern believers. Jesus did not merely reaffirm the commandments, he expanded them, addressing the intentions and motivations behind actions, thereby promoting a more comprehensive and spiritually enriched approach to ethics. This transformation shifts the focus from external compliance to internal transformation, encouraging believers to cultivate virtues that align with divine will and promote genuine righteousness. The renewal of these commandments by Jesus emphasizes the importance of internalizing ethical principles, ensuring that one's actions are driven by genuine love, compassion, and integrity. As we conclude our exploration of how Jesus reinterpreted and expanded the Ten Commandments, it's essential to reflect on the profound spiritual depth and enduring relevance of his teachings. Jesus didn't merely reaffirm these ancient laws, he breathed new life into them, transforming them from a set of external rules into guiding principles that address the very core of our hearts and minds. This renewal emphasizes internal transformation and the purity of the heart, encouraging believers to cultivate virtues that align with divine will and promote genuine righteousness. Jesus' approach to the Ten Commandments highlights their continued relevance in today's world. In an era marked by rapid technological advancements, shifting social norms, and complex ethical dilemmas, the principles laid out by Jesus offer timeless guidance. His teachings provide a moral compass that navigates the challenges of contemporary life, ensuring that the commandments remain not only applicable but also profoundly meaningful. By addressing the intentions and motivations behind actions, Jesus ensures that these commandments transcend their historical context, offering solutions that are both spiritually enriching and practically effective in promoting ethical and moral behavior. Central to Jesus' reinterpretation of the commandments is the integration of grace and love into our relationship with God and with one another. He emphasized that true adherence to the commandments is rooted in a personal and loving relationship with God, rather than mere compliance with rules. This connection with grace and love transforms the commandments from obligations into expressions of our devotion and compassion. Jesus' message encourages believers to foster a relationship with God that is characterized by unconditional love, forgiveness, and mercy, which in turn inspires them to extend the same virtues to others. Living with integrity is a fundamental application of Jesus' teachings. Integrity involves aligning our actions and thoughts with the ethical principles outlined in the commandments and deepened by Jesus' interpretations. It means being honest, trustworthy, and consistent in our behavior, both in public and in private. By embodying integrity, we demonstrate our commitment to living out our faith authentically, earning the trust and respect of those around us. This alignment between belief and action fosters a sense of inner peace and fulfillment, as we live in accordance with our values and principles. Cultivating the heart is another crucial aspect of applying Jesus' teachings to our lives. A pure, generous, and compassionate heart reflects the deep values that Jesus instilled in his followers. Cultivating such a heart involves intentional practices like prayer, meditation, and self-reflection, which help us develop empathy, kindness, and a genuine concern for the well-being of others. By nurturing these qualities, we not only enhance our spiritual growth but also contribute to creating a more compassionate and just society. A heart cultivated in love and compassion becomes a powerful force for positive change, inspiring others to embrace similar virtues. In facing ethical and moral challenges today, the principles renewed by Jesus provide a solid foundation for making decisions that honor God and benefit the community. Whether dealing with issues of social justice, personal integrity, or interpersonal relationships, these teachings offer clear guidance on how to act righteously and compassionately. By applying these principles, we navigate the complexities of modern life with wisdom and grace, ensuring that our actions reflect our faith and commitment to living out God's will. This practical application of Jesus' teachings fosters a life of purpose and meaning, grounded in ethical integrity and spiritual depth. As we reflect on the renewal of the Ten Commandments by Jesus, we recognize the profound spiritual depth he brought to these ancient laws. His teachings go beyond superficial compliance, urging believers to seek internal transformation and cultivate a pure heart. This deeper understanding ensures that the commandments remain relevant and applicable, providing ethical and moral guidance that addresses the challenges of contemporary life. Moreover, by integrating grace and love into our relationship with God and others, Jesus transforms these commandments into expressions of our devotion and compassion, fostering a life of genuine righteousness and heartfelt connection. Living with integrity, cultivating a pure heart, and navigating ethical challenges with wisdom are practical applications of Jesus' renewed commandments. These principles guide us toward a life that honors God, strengthens our relationships, and contributes to the well-being of our communities. By embracing these teachings, we align our actions and thoughts with divine will, ensuring that our lives reflect the profound love and grace that Jesus exemplified. As you contemplate these teachings, consider how they can transform your own life and relationships. Reflect on how living with integrity, cultivating compassion, and making ethical decisions can enhance your spiritual journey and contribute to a more just and loving world. Embrace the lessons of humility, sacrifice, and unconditional love that Jesus taught, and allow them to guide you in your daily actions and interactions. Before we part ways, there's an incredible opportunity awaiting you. God has prepared something extraordinary for your spiritual journey, insights, blessings, and divine guidance that are ready to unfold in your life. By subscribing to our channel, you position yourself to receive this grace and become part of a community dedicated to exploring and living out these profound teachings. Don't miss out on the transformative insights and blessings that God has in store for you. Subscribe now and allow His grace to enrich your life in ways you never imagined. We invite you to share this video with friends and family, spreading the message of faith, sacrifice, and enduring love that Jesus so beautifully taught. Engage with us in the comments below, sharing your own stories of faith and how you apply these teachings in your life. Your participation not only enriches our community but also inspires others to embrace their own path of faith and service. As we move forward, let us embody the teachings of Jesus by living with integrity, cultivating compassionate hearts, and making ethical decisions that honor God and benefit our communities. Embrace the transformative power of these renewed commandments, and let them guide you toward a life of purpose, resilience, and divine connection. Subscribe now and be part of a journey that promises spiritual growth, ethical clarity, and the blessings of living out God's enduring love and grace. Remember, through faith in Jesus, it is possible to live according to elevated principles and experience profound personal transformation. Let His example inspire you to make meaningful changes, foster deeper relationships, and serve others with humility and compassion. Together, we can build a community grounded in faith, hope, and unwavering trust in God's enduring love and purpose. Thank you for watching, and may God's grace and love guide you every step of your journey.